Sam, I need to stop everything. I can't launch yet.
What? Why not? You have your offer, you've tested it, you're ready.
I just spent 2 hours Googling, do I need an LLC? And now I'm convinced I'm going to get sued the second I make my first sale.
What did Google tell you?
That I need business insurance and an LLC and a lawyer to write my contracts and separate business banking and something called an EIN, and I need to register with the state and the IRS and
Maya, stop. Take a breath.
But what if I do something wrong and lose everything? What if someone sues me? What if the IRS comes after me?
How much money have you made so far?
$0.
Exactly. The legal stuff is important, but you don't need everything on day one. You need the basics, and you need to understand what comes now versus later.
So I'm not going to jail?
You're not going to jail, but we do need to talk about the legal basics so you can sleep at night.
Please, because I stayed up until 2 a.m. reading about business structures.
Welcome back to Side Hustle School for Single Moms. I'm Sam, and that's Maya, who just discovered that Google can be a terrifying place when you're trying to figure out legal requirements. Today, we're talking about the legal basics you actually need, without the lawyer fees or the panic. We're going to simplify this so you can launch without losing sleep, or your life savings. All right, let's talk about why the legal stuff feels so overwhelming.
Because every article I read made it sound like if I don't have an LLC and business insurance from day one, I'll get sued to oblivion.
Exactly. The internet loves to scare you into thinking you need everything immediately. And then there are the ads. Protect your business now. Don't make this costly mistake. You need an LLC today. Yes, and then I'm clicking links and seeing $1,000 legal packages and thinking, I haven't made a single dollar yet. Right. So here's the truth. The legal requirements depend on where you live, what you're selling, and how much money you're making. That's vague. I know, but that's actually good news because it means you don't need to do everything right now. You need to do the right things for your situation. Okay, so what do I actually need? We're going to break this into 2 categories, must do now and can do later. I like this already. Must do now, separate bank account, basic tracking, understanding your business structure, and having simple terms of service. That's it? That's it to start. Can do later, LLC formation, business insurance, trademark protection, complicated contracts. Wait, I don't need an LLC right away? Not necessarily. Let me explain. Let's talk about business structures. Right now, by default, you're a sole proprietor.
What does that mean?
It means you and your business are the same entity. You file your business income on your personal tax return. It's the simplest structure.
Is that bad?
It's not bad, it's just simple. The downside is there's no separation between your personal assets and your business. So if something goes wrong, like someone sues your business, they could potentially come after your personal assets. So I do need an LLC. Hold on. Here's the thing. An LLC, limited liability company, does create that separation. Your business is its own entity, so your personal assets are generally protected.
So why wouldn't I just do that immediately?
Because it costs money to set up and maintain. Filing fees vary by state, but usually run $100 to $500, plus annual fees, plus more complicated taxes.
Okay, so when do I need an LLC?
Here's my rule of thumb. Start as a sole proprietor. Once you're making consistent income, say $1,000 per month, or if you're doing something with higher risk, then consider forming an LLC.
What's considered higher risk?
Things like working in people's homes, handling food, providing advice that could be acted on, anything involving kids or pets, or if you're taking on significant expenses or debt.
So for my meal prep business where I'm going into people's homes and handling food?
Yeah, you'll probably want an LLC sooner rather than later, but you can start as a sole proprietor, get your first few clients, and then upgrade.
That makes sense. So I'm not going to get arrested if I do one meal prep session as a sole proprietor.
No, you're not getting arrested. But once you're doing this regularly, get the LLC.
Okay, how do I do that?
You can file yourself through your state's business registration website. Usually takes 30 minutes and costs $100 to $300. Or you can use services like LegalZoom or InkFile, which walk you through it.
I can do that. What about taxes?
Let's talk taxes. First rule, separate your money.
Like separate bank accounts.
Exactly. You need a separate bank account for your business, even if you're a sole proprietor.
Why?
Because when tax time comes, you need to know exactly how much you made and spent. If your business money is mixed with your personal money, it's a nightmare to sort out.
Okay, I'll open a business bank account. Do I need something fancy?
Nope. Most banks offer free business checking accounts. Just call your bank and say, I want to open a business checking account.
That's it?
That's it. They'll ask for your business name and maybe your social security number if you're a sole proprietor, or your EIN if you have one.
What's an EIN?
Employer identification number. It's like a social security number for your business. You get it free from the IRS website, takes 10 minutes. Do I need one? Not immediately if you're a sole proprietor with no employees, but it's free and easy to get, so you might as well. Plus, some banks require it for business accounts. Okay, so separate bank account, what else? Track everything, and I mean everything. Every dollar that comes in, every dollar that goes out. How do I do that? Start with a simple spreadsheet. 4 columns, date, income, expense, category. That's it? That's it to start. Every time you get paid, you log it. Every time you buy supplies, you log it. Save your receipts. What about taxes? Like, how much should I set aside? Good question. As a sole proprietor, you'll pay self-employment tax plus income tax. Rule of thumb, set aside 25 to 30% of your income for taxes. 30